I couldn't be bothered with the old AI thing. It just takes too long to do. Here it is, today's podcast, crazy little thing called Love Dev, episode 118. It's a bite of Christ. It's been so long since I've done a podcast. Where have you been, Love Dev Barpaga? I don't know why I have to start off my podcast by singing. Just feels like a theme now. Hello, everybody. It's been a while. It's eventually got time to record a podcast. And you know I like to do it on my own. I don't like people around me. Finally, the family have left the building. I'm able to do whatever I want. And I thought, let's record a podcast. It's been way too long, man. I should do what every other person does and records like 3 or 4 in the time they're free and then just bring them out whenever they like. How do you expect to keep your followers, Love Dev? I don't know. I've missed all of you. That's what I've done. I've missed ya. I'll tell you who else I've missed. One of my neighbours, my next door neighbour, he's moved out, right? I never thought I'd miss him. It's not like I don't see him all the time, but he was a great man. Do you know what I mean? He had a nice family. I've known him for 15 years, same age as my daughter. So when we moved in, my daughter was just born then. Actually, she wasn't even born. She was in the stomach. But she was born the same year we bought the house, so I can always remember how long I've had the house. Especially when you do your home insurance, right? I just remember it by, my daughter's 15. That's how long I've been here. So, basically he's moved out. He's gone to a little village just outside of Birmingham. And he was a great neighbour. It's weird, isn't it? Like, I never thought I'd miss a neighbour. And then we had some new neighbours moved in, but she hasn't proper moved in yet. And I know she was an Asian lady, because my neighbour told me, and I thought, oh, God, not another one. These Asians keep coming into our area. I mean, one is enough, innit? But there's more than one now on my road. There's probably about 7 or 8. Maybe 9. Families on the one road. Yeah, he's gone. I'll tell you what I've really missed. His dog. It's weird. So every time I used to put the washing out, his dog used to go proper bonkers, right? Reg, his name was. And Reg used to like try and smash the frigging fence, yeah? Although he's gone and I know he's not there, I put the washing out today and I was still reluctant to put it out because he always startles me. Do you know what I mean? As I get closer towards the fence because of the washing line, I keep looking to my right to think, oh, he's going to jump at the fence now. And because he's not there, it still plays in the back of my mind. It's weird, isn't it? Weird that. I've been busy anyway, apart from my neighbour, missing my neighbour. I've been busy, just gigs, usual stuff, nothing new to report. I'll tell you what I absolutely love doing at the moment is writing material. Oh, God, I love writing material. Like, I don't know what's happened to me. Since I've started doing stories, I still write the odd one-liner here and there, depending on what I think on. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to write a one-liner, though, because so many one-liner comics are out there, and you more or less have the same idea for a joke, but it might just be worded differently. That's why I like to write now as a storyteller, because I just feel like I can be a bit more creative with my storytelling. I can take it in different directions. And I've been using this thing called Pipdeck's story deck card. I think I've told you guys before. And it's helped me so much. It's like, I wish I had it years ago. And I wish I was writing stories years ago, should I say. But, so I did some new material last night at the Glee Club in Birmingham. It'd be nice to get on their actual stage. It's so funny. Like, I do really well on the new material nights. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes things don't land, but majority of it works. And I always think, why don't you guys book me? Like, you've seen me so many times. I don't understand what you have to do to get on to these big promoters. I was going to say something rude, but yeah, basically, I don't know who's, to do the thing with them. Oh, God, that's hilarious. Oh, I just remembered. I got booked for a corporate event, right, in Dudley, yeah. The money's decent. Like, it was a good payout. I'm not going to lie. The guy even gave me extra money, which I was very surprised about as well. I'm not going to say how much I got, but it's decent. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, I did this football thing. It was what was it called? Walking football charity or something like that. So it was their 10th anniversary, and there was a lot of people there. They're all dressed up. They had a buffet. They had food. They had drink. Oh, listen to this, right, before I talk about that. So you guys know I haven't drank for a while. It's been 2.5 years, yeah. And on the front of the reception, as people came in, they were giving out champagne. And there was another glass which looked like orange. And the bloke told me, I said, is that all alcohol there, right? When I walked in, he said, yeah, that's all alcohol. He said, but just stay on the corner, there's some orange. And I thought, oh, yeah, oh, lovely, I'll grab one later then. So I went inside, put my stuff away, said hello to the guy who's running the event and the DJ. And then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to grab an orange. So I went over and picked up the orange. And I was going to ask the waiters if it had alcohol in it. And I didn't. And I assumed it didn't have it. So I took a sip and I was like, oh my God, it's got alcohol in this. I felt like I broke my... what do you call it? Not a fast, but... when you haven't done something for such a long time, like, for instance, you haven't had a cigarette or alcohol, do you know what I mean? Or you haven't had chocolate for a long time and you accidentally have one without knowing. And I felt, for a minute, like I let myself down. But then I was thinking in my head, no, you shouldn't let yourself down because you didn't know. It looks like a plain orange juice, but it was actually Buck Fizz. And in a way, I felt like you should have labelled it. Do you know what I mean? If you labelled Buck Fizz on the table, I would have gone, yeah, I don't want that. What if I was religious? I'm not, but what if I was and I had that alcohol? That's what I was thinking in my head. Next time before I pick up a drink, I will ask if there's any alcohol in it. So anyway, I went and did this gig, right, and I had to do 30 minutes on stage. And I knew like all corporate events, they are usually they're not tough, but the audience there, they're not really there for the comedy, if you know what I mean. So I was expecting that anyway. So the DJ brought me on. He just said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Love Dev. And I got up and I thought, you could have said we've got a comedian for you. Well, do you know what I mean? I said that to him as well, but he probably just forgot because he was in the moment. So anyway, I got up and I was like, hello, everyone. I said, you're all probably wondering, who the hell's Love Dev? So I had to introduce myself. Anyway, I was doing my material. There's people laughing here and there. But there's a table on my right, an older table, shall we say, the OAP table. And they just decided to start talking. And I was like, oh, God, this is going to be awful. And I was just cracking on, and then they were getting louder. And I was just looking at them thinking, this is comedy. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, this bloke come up out the audience and he come walking up to me. And he gave me the hand gesture to say, give me the microphone. And I thought, oh my God, he's going to tell me to get off. But he actually told the audience to be quiet. He said, guys, we're trying to put on entertainment. This is a comedian. Show a bit of respect. And everyone cheered and clapped. Obviously, the ones who wanted to listen to it, they were doing that. And the rest of them were like, no, we're still going to carry on chatting. So that was, yeah. Do you know what? I just had to bite my tongue and just crack on. That's all I had to do. But it was good money. It was in Dudley. It was down the road from me. I was home by 9:15. I got to catch up on my Contraband series, which I've been watching on the telly. I love watching stuff like that. It's based in Mexico on the border of USA. And it's all about the cartel and how they're bringing in the drugs. And it's astonishing, like, how they do it. They're so clever. A part of me is like, oh man, look at all that waste. Like one seizure. Is it called a seizure? I probably said it wrong. One of them anyway, they found, right, was a truckload of cocaine, yeah? Now I'm against cocaine and all that heroin and all that stuff. But when they said this is a street value of 10 million, I thought, wow, $10 million? Obviously. That's still a lot of money. Wow, what a massive blow to the cartel. But yeah, I love watching that documentary. Talking about documentaries and other stuff, let's do a Ask the UK, because I've really missed doing this podcast. I absolutely have, you know. So this one's been posted by Stepperbox, and the question Stepperbox has asked is going to breakfast in a hotel in your pyjamas acceptable or some kind of peak chav behaviour? Yeah, so those of you who are from USA or not from the UK, basically a chav is someone who's a bit of a hillbilly, in simpler terms, or a bit of a bum, shall we say. So, is it acceptable to go in a hotel in your pyjamas to have breakfast? I don't see any problem in it. It doesn't bother me. As long as the pyjamas are presentable, should I say. You're not in your Y-fronts or in your shorts. If it was me, I'd be absolutely, completely naked. I wear pyjamas, but they end up coming off because I get too hot. That's too much information. I remember when I was in the USA, actually, and I went in a shop, and like I noticed all the locals. They were just in their pyjamas doing their shopping. And I thought, wow, I wish the UK was like that. Like, no one cares. Do you know what I mean? You can pop down to your local off-license or your local corner shop in your PJs. I wouldn't, yeah, it wouldn't bother me, mate. Carry on, crack on if you want to. But look a bit more respectable. Obviously, brush your teeth, wash your face, comb your hair a bit. But I would want to get ready first, if it was me personally. I would rather get ready and then go and have breakfast. I've put down, simple enough premise is acceptable to wander down before getting properly changed, or a heinous fake pass, or some kind of sliding scale where an ibis wouldn't care. You'd get some side eye anywhere in the region between a Premier Inn and a Marriott. Those are hotels in the UK. And if you're somewhere like the Ritz, you're too rich for anyone to argue with what you do. Okay, that's quite a good observation. I suppose, yeah, it depends on what hotel you're in. I never thought of that, you know. That does make a lot of sense. If you was in the Hilton, you wouldn't do it, innit? You wouldn't do it. When I was in Las Vegas, I stayed in the MGM. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go down there in my pajamas, only because it was a massive hotel / casino / events. I wouldn't do that there. But like I said, I would rather just get ready and then go down. Just because then you're going to have to go back up to get ready again. So what's the point? You might as well just get ready, go down, eat your breakfast, go back up, collect your stuff, and then head out. But I'm sure the cheaper hotels, people probably do it, and who cares, man? No one cares. I wouldn't care. Someone said, why don't you just sleep in a dinner jacket? That would solve the puzzle. That's hilarious. It's been so long that I forgot how my podcast works. You think I would know, innit? I don't know. I don't know anything. I'll tell you what gets on my nerves, right, is these renewals. So when I say renewal, as I was mentioning earlier on home insurance and stuff, I paid for some travel insurance last year, right? Because we had more than one holiday. The family did. Bought the travel insurance for all of us, and I can't remember how much it was. It's about £60. And then I got an email out of nowhere saying it's been auto-renewed. And I was like, I didn't even get an email to say that it was finishing and then you were going to auto-renew it. Like, what is all that about? I just feel like They take your money. They think you're going to book again with them, so they'll just take your money. I just found that wrong. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, shall I ring them? But because it's a bank holiday, which is the day I'm recording this podcast, I thought they're not even going to be there now, so I can't even speak to them. And then I've got work for the rest of the week, and I've got a load of gigs. I'm busy this week as well with gigs. And I thought, I'm not even going to get to speak to them. So then I thought, I am going away anyway, right, this year. I'm going away for my niece's wedding in Malta. I thought, right, let me see, I'm going to need travel insurance anyway. All right, best to be safe than sorry. And you go and have a look on other websites to see how much it is. And it's actually a lot more money than what they've auto-renewed it at. But a part of me feels like I still want to call them and complain to say, you've took my money. I didn't even authorize this, so why have you took me money? I feel like every company is doing that now. My home insurance did it to me. I know I mentioned it. They did do that to me. I did the whole comparison thing again. Find other websites which was like £2 cheaper. And I just thought I can't even be asked to cancel. So I'd rather just stay with who I am. They've been fine. I've never used them. Maybe it builds up the premium bond or whatever it is in case I do need it. So yeah, I was a bit annoyed. Like, I don't know how you guys find that, but I do find that annoying. I tried to renew, right, my internet broadband because I'm with Virgin Media, and that's one of the biggest main suppliers in the UK for internet. It's like fibre, so it's like really fast. Goes up to a gig and all that anyway. I rang them up to see if they can make my premium lower, although I'm still in contract. And they were like, yeah, we can do that for you. We'll knock off £2. And I thought, £2? And then they went, yeah, but you're still going to be in another 2-year contract. I was like, when does it finish then? And she said April. So I've still got a year to go. Well, less than a year, but I've got like 10 months to go. And I thought, why'd you do that? And she said, so she set up the whole contract and everything, yeah. And because I'm Asian, obviously, I like to look for a bargain. So I started looking at other broadband providers in the area, and I found one, but they are good. They're very new, but they're some of the stuff people complain about, but it's more to do with the hardware. So the router doesn't have many ports and stuff, and I thought, I need more than 2 ports, man. I got like 5 or 6 on my Virgin one. So anyway, I thought, let me leave it then. I'll wait until my contract finishes. So she called me back, this lady, right? Lovely lady on the phone. She's very nice. And she said, oh, we've got you a better deal. So I didn't even tell her that I don't want the contract. She said, I've got you even a better deal now, and we'll knock off £5 and you'll get 6 months off price. And I thought, that's quite tempting, that. But I didn't fall for it because I don't want to be tied into a contract. So I just left that. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. This is just basic life stories of myself. I'm going to move on with the podcast, do the no stupid questions, which I absolutely love, and obviously the weird news story, which will follow that. Well, first of all, it's time for no stupid questions. This one has been posted by Belthin83. Very interesting question, very funny actually. I've never thought of this. The question they have asked is, what happens if there is a fire alarm during an open heart surgery? Or any surgery. What happens if there's a fire alarm during a surgery? That is so interesting. I've never thought of that. They must have a protocol because you can't stop an operation. If you're in an operation, say you've cut somebody's stomach up. Sorry for the graphic scene. Or let's make it lighter. Let's say it's a cut on their leg. Just a tiny little cut. But it needs stitches and it's a surgery. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm changing it. God knows. What happens? I think what they do is they try and locate where the fire is. So if it's a different part of the hospital, they'll go, oh, it's Block C, which is like 400 or 500 yards away. Maybe they still carry on. As the fire gets closer to them, they kind of halt it. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of way where it's all sectioned off. So I work in hospitals, so I should know this. So what happens is they have fire doors, obviously, and the fire doors protect different parts of the building. It normally takes a fire about an hour to get through a fire door. So that gives them enough time. So if they had, let's say they had 20 doors between the fire, they've got plenty of time to patch up the job. Patch up the job before the fire gets to them. I think that's what happens. That's my best bet. I'm going to see what other people have said. One person has put, I'm a fire marshal. They keep going. Hospitals are designed with this kind of thing in mind. Compartmentalization of fire zones, suppressed systems. There's emergency power generation, smoke control, and dedicated ventilation systems. Short of something really, really catastrophic, you basically would need to set a fire intentionally right next to the operating room to make them to stop. So basically, hospitals are designed to prevent that from happening. And if it does happen, they've got a system, which is basically what I just said, isn't it? That's basically what I've just said. So, yeah, but it's a good question, though, isn't it? I've never thought of that, to be honest. That's why I love Ask the UK. Right, I'm going to do the weird news story, man. Oh, God, it's been so long. I really hope it's a good weird news story. I believe it is from the USA, as always. It's always America, isn't it? You never know what they're up to these days. Today's story is a priest bites a woman at a mass after denying her communion. Please say. So a priest has bitten a woman at mass. Jesus. As in, yeah, Jesus. Literally Jesus. The story is St. Cloud communion at a Florida church took an unexpected turn when the police say an argument ended with a priest biting a woman attending mass. The incident happened on Sunday at St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Church in St. Cloud. Police have recommended that the priest involved identified on body camera video as Father Fidel. Father Fidel, shout out to Father Fidel the biter. Be charged with battery. The church's website lists as Fidel Rodriguez among its staff as a parochial vicar. I don't know what a parochial vicar is, but it is not clear if it's the same man. The unidentified woman involved in the incident told police the scuffle started when she tried to receive communion, but was denied. He wouldn't give me the cookie. I don't know if it was the way I was dressed or what it was that I like. He wouldn't give me the cookie. I don't know if it was the way I was dressed or what it is that I like. That doesn't make any sense. The woman can be heard saying in the body video cam. Hang on, she was wearing a body video cam. A witness told the police was singled out because of her sexuality and attire. Right. So how did he know? Definitely was the way she looked in it. He tried to forcefully shove it in her mouth. She backed up and said, "No, don't do that." She tried to get it, and that's when he went crazy. The witness said to police, "Oh my God, I wish I was there." However, the priest told police a different story. He says the woman first came to the 10 o'clock mass, but didn't seem to know the process of receiving communion. So he denied her the bread wafer. He says she came back to another service and then tried again. This is hilarious. The priest says the confrontation happened when the woman tried to grab the wafer out of his hand, telling the police he was protecting the wafer because it considered the body of Christ. He also appears to admit to biting the woman on body cam video. How rough is this church that the vicar has to wear a body cam? That's mad, innit? I'm not judging you. I am asking you, did you confess after Mass? If you did not confess, I can't give you a communion. Are you supposed to confess and then you get the bread? I didn't know that. I bitter. I am not denying that. I was defending myself at the sacrament. It's what Jesus would have wanted, isn't it? The priest told officers he didn't know the woman or what her sexual orientation is, and he doesn't care about that. A part of me does not believe that. I bet it was. I don't know if it's true. Could be a transsexual person, and he didn't like it, so he just decided to bite them. He turned into Mike Tyson. That's hilarious. I don't judge nobody, he said to the police. The church deferred the comment to the Catholic Diocese of Orlando. Reporters reached out to the diocese, but have not heard back. Oh, God, that's funny, isn't it? Imagine being bitten by a vicar. I've actually wrote a joke, right? I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to end the podcast. But it'll probably get me cancelled again. So I wrote a joke. I wrote, this is an old joke, right? The joke is, I was bitten by a radioactive Jewish man, and now I've got rabbis. Now, I like that joke. If you're Jewish, I'm sorry. But if you haven't got a sense of humour, you need to get a life. Keep listening to this podcast. God, I've missed recording this. Give me a like, give me a share. Most importantly, if you can leave a comment, maybe after this episode. That's what you guys need to do. After every time I do an episode, right, just write your view on it. It could be about anything. And just a little comment, it just really helps. It gives me more listeners, is what I'm trying to say. But I suppose I need to do more recordings. We'll leave that. So, folks, take care of yourselves, and I will do another one very soon.